everyone, how are you all doing? Today I want to start our video with a special interaction. Where are you watching from? I know I have a lot of viewers from the United States, Australia, France, even Somalia, and so many other amazing places around the world. Where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments because I love knowing who's on the other side of the screen following along with foot care and podiatric health tips. If you're already subscribed to the channel, drop a hi in the comments below, and if you're new here, subscribe and join our growing community. Today we're going to talk about a procedure that many of you have probably experienced or are familiar with, the removal of ingrown toenails, a problem that causes pain, discomfort, and sometimes even difficulty walking or doing simple daily activities. In today's video, I'm going to show you in detail what I did with a patient who came to me with pain on the sides of both of her big toes. Her nails were so curved that they had dug into the skin, causing a lot of discomfort. I'll explain each step of the process with all the technical details so you can understand the complexity and delicacy of this work. The first step was to examine the patient's nail. It was extremely curved, almost like it was hugging the toe, creating constant pressure on the surrounding skin. This curvature is common in nails that grow irregularly or that have been cut improperly in the past. During the consultation, I noticed that the nail had dug in so deeply that it had formed a kind of bubble of skin around it, which is the body's natural response to protect the area. However, this also increased the swelling and sensitivity. To start the procedure, I used specific tools like podiatric nail nippers and the nail drill, that's the device with a small burr that helps remove thin, delicate layers precisely. First, I made a strategic cut on the side of the nail to relieve the immediate pressure. I explained to the patient that she would feel some pressure, but I assured her that I would be extremely careful to avoid any unnecessary pain. She told me that the week before, she couldn't walk properly because of the discomfort, which is something that happens frequently in cases like this, and shows just how much this issue can impact someone's quality of life. Here's an interesting fact. Did you know that ingrown toenails can be caused by several factors? Besides improper cutting, like cutting the corners too straight or leaving the nail too short, tight shoes, genetics, and even foot injuries can contribute. In my patient's case, I noticed that her nail was very thick and hard, which made natural growth even more difficult and increased the pressure on the surrounding skin. That's why I needed to lower the height of the nail with the drill, making it thinner and less aggressive toward the skin around it, which also helps prevent future issues. While I worked, I kept checking in with her, asking if she was okay and if she felt any discomfort. At one point, we found a piece of skin that was inflamed because the nail had been pressing against it. I carefully removed that piece using sterilized forceps and explained that it was crucial to clean this area to prevent infections, which can become serious if not treated. After that, I applied a bit of antiseptic solution to ensure everything stayed sanitized. It was a meticulous process that required patience, but the results started to show. The pressure decreased and the patient already felt relief almost immediately. Now, let's talk about care and empathy, which are values I always prioritize. Imagine the pain this patient was feeling every single day, unable to walk properly, wear comfortable shoes, or even rest her feet after a long day. During the procedure, I put myself in her shoes, understanding how frustrating and limiting this problem can be, especially for someone who might not realize how common it is. That's why I took breaks, gave her time to rest her leg, and made sure she felt safe. I always asked if everything was okay and explained each step so she knew what was happening and felt confident in my work, knowing she was in good hands. After removing the ingrown part of the nail, I noticed there was still a small area of sensitized skin, almost as if it was about to develop a wound. I explained that this was normal since the area had been inflamed for days or even weeks, but I assured her that with the right aftercare it would heal quickly and without complications. I placed an orthotic device, a tool that helps correct the nail's growth and prevent it from becoming ingrown again in the future. I showed the camera how the orthotic opened up the side of the nail, relieving the pressure and giving the skin more room to breathe, which is a visible relief for both the patient and anyone watching. And now it's time for tips and extra information, which I know you all love and that can make all the difference in recovery. After a procedure like this, it's super important to follow some recommendations to ensure a smooth recovery and avoid setbacks. First, keep your feet always clean and dry, especially after showering. Use a gentle antiseptic soap and dry thoroughly between your toes to prevent moisture, which is a perfect environment for fungi and bacteria to grow. Second, avoid tight shoes or high heels for at least 1 or 2 weeks. Opt for comfortable models with plenty of room for your toes and good arch support. Third, apply a healing ointment or solution recommended by your podiatrist to the treated area, following their instructions carefully to speed up healing and reduce any remaining sensitivity. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that toenails grow on average about 1 millimeter per week? This rate can vary depending on factors like age, diet, overall health, and even climate. That means that with patience and regular checkups, my patient's nail will recover and grow back healthier and straighter. But it's essential to see a podiatrist regularly, at least every 2 months, to monitor progress, adjust the orthotic if needed, and ensure no new problems arise. Another key tip. If you notice signs of infection, like intense redness, swelling, warmth, or pus, seek professional help immediately. Never try to fix it at home with needles, scissors, or other tools, as that can worsen the problem and lead to serious complications like abscesses or systemic infections. Now, it's time to engage you, my amazing and special audience. If you liked this video, learned something new about foot care, or felt more informed about dealing with ingrown toenails, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any new content, and if you can, comment below with your thoughts, any questions you have about podiatric health, or the biggest challenge you face with your feet. Share this video with friends, family, or anyone you think could benefit from this information. Together, we can help more people have healthy feet, free from pain and ready to take on the world. To wrap up, I want to leave you with an inspiring message. Taking care of your feet isn't just about aesthetics or vanity. It's about quality of life, well-being, and respect for your body. Our feet are the foundation of everything we do, supporting us with every step, taking us to incredible places, and they deserve all the attention, care, and love we can give them. If you're dealing with a problem like ingrown toenails, calluses, fungal infections, or any other discomfort, don't hesitate to seek professional help. A podiatrist can not only relieve the pain and address the immediate issue, but also guide you on how to prevent it from happening again, giving you the freedom to live without limitations. So, take care of yourself, take care of your feet with love and dedication, and remember, small efforts today can transform your life and bring big results tomorrow. Big hug to all of you from the heart, and see you in the next video.